Hello everyone, this is Dr. V. Jagnesh, Professor, Department of Computer Science, Dr. NGP Arts and Science College, Coimbatore. Now we can see the object-oriented analysis and design. Under comes from object-oriented analysis design, we can see the some of the topics are like introduction to object-oriented analysis design, object-oriented analysis techniques, the summary of the techniques. So now we can see the introduction to object-oriented analysis and design. So it's a software development approach that models a system as a group of objects. Each objects represent some real-world entity within the system being modeled and has its own described and operations. The main aim of object-oriented analysis design is the recognized applications, domain, and specific requirement of the system. The primary task of object-oriented analysis design to identify the objects. The next one is organizing the objects by creating object model diagram. The third one primary task is defining the internal of the objects or objects attributes. The next one is to defining the behavior of the objects, that is objects actions. The final one is describing how the objects interact with the other objects. The importance of future of objects oriented programming, like bottom up approach in program design, program organized around objects grouped in classes. The next one is focused on data with methods to operate upon objects data, the interaction between the objects through any functions. The final one is reusability of design through creation of new classes by adding features to existing classes. These are all the main important features of under comes from object oriented programming. Next, we can see the techniques of object oriented analysis design. Here we have three types of techniques like object modeling, dynamic modeling, and function modeling. Now we can see the one by one. First one is object modeling. So object modeling is to develop the static structure of the system regarding objects. It recognizes the object relationship between the objects and any classes. The next one is process of object modeling can be visualized in the following steps. Here we have 5 steps of process, like first one is recognizing the objects and grouped into the classes. The relationship between the classes. So after completion of grouped into the classes, we can a relationship between the classes. The third step is user object model diagram is generated. So after completing the generate, we can define attributes of user objects. So finally, define the operations need perform of the classes. These are all the steps of object modeling techniques. The benefits of object model: it helps faster development of software, and also it's very easy to maintain, and also it's very support relatively hassle-free upgrade. The next one is it enable reuse of object design and functions. So finally, it reduce development risk, particularly integration of complex systems. These are all some of the benefits of object model. Next, we can see the second techniques, that is dynamic modeling. So after the static behavior of the system is analyzed to explain how single objects respond to events, the main aim of this dynamic modeling to examine the behavior of the object, time and external changes. This is the purpose of dynamic modeling. So dynamic modeling can be defined as a way of describing how an individual object responds to events, either internal events triggered by other objects or external events triggered by outside world. So these are all the some of the key points of under comes from dynamic modeling. The next one is the process of dynamic modeling visualized as step by steps, like to identify state of each objects and also to identify event and analyze the applicable of actions. The third one is construct dynamic model diagram and comprising of state transition diagram. The next step is express each state in terms of object attributes. The final one is validate the state transition diagram. So these are the important steps of under comes from process of dynamic modeling. Now we can see the benefits of dynamic modeling. Here, to identify the interaction between the subsystem of a complex product which may be too expensive to create during the physical prototyping and testing. The second step is identifying the potential failure modes which is should be tested in physical prototypes. So these two tips, important steps in the benefits of dynamic modeling. The next one is functional modeling. That is the final component of object-oriented analysis. So it shows the process executed in an object and how the data change when it moves between the methods. It specific the meaning of the operations of the object modeling and the actions of dynamic modeling. So finally, the functional model corresponds to the data flow diagram of traditional structure analysis. So these are all the some of the key points of under comes from functional modeling. Actually, the functional modeling is the final component of the object-oriented analysis. Without using functional modeling, we can't create any application domain, any system like that. So next one is the process of functional modeling can be visualized in the following steps. So actually we have the 5 steps are here. The first one is identifying all the inputs and outputs, and the next one is to construct the data flow diagrams showing functional dependencies. The next one is state the purpose of each functions. The next one is to identify exact constraints. The final one is to verify the optimization criteria. These are all the some of the steps under comes from functional modeling. The next one is the benefits of functional modeling. Actually, we have two benefits under comes from functional modeling. Like it gives the process perspective of the object-oriented analysis model, and also it defines the function of the internal process in the system with the aid of data flow diagram. That is the DFT. The next one is the relationship between the object, dynamic, and functional model. The object model And functional model, also the dynamic models are complementary in each other for a complete object-oriented analysis. In the point of object model, to develop the static structure of the software system in terms of objects. It shows the doors of your systems. The next one is dynamic model. In the point of dynamic model, the temporal behavior of the objects in response to external events. It shows the sequence of operations performed on the objects. Finally, in the functional model point of view, it gives an overview of what the system should do. Actually, that is called the relationship between the object and dynamic and functional model. So finally, we have summary of the object-oriented analysis, especially in the object-oriented analysis techniques like object model, dynamic model, and functional model. So after completion of this object-oriented analysis, the student will be able to demonstrate the importance of modeling in the software development life cycle. Thank you.